Hello, comic book guys and gals, and welcome to Comic Mag Musics. I am your host, Bill Miller. I'd like to welcome you to a special Halloween vlog. We will be reading an issue of Mr. Mystery, a pre-code horror comic book from 1954. This is issue number 18, and there are 19 issues in this series. I will be reading this online from Digital Comic Museum. So you can go to digitalcomicmuseum.com, and for free you can read public domain issues, Golden Age comic books, 1940s, 50s, and so on. They are all vetted to make sure that it's legal to consume them that way. So rest assured, if it's on the site, you can read it legally. All right, we'll start off with this one. It's a beautiful Bernard Bailey cover. Very famous or infamous, depending upon how you want to look at it. And that is the cover that you see before you. So inside the front cover is an advertisement for some fishing set. A new automatic Sure Hooker fisherman. And it has a catching arm, a trigger, a clamp, a line slot, all steel built, they assure you. And you can order it complete for just $1. All right, our first story is called The Devil's Bottles. We have a splash page of a young man in bed who sees a phantom of sorts with an apparition of the devil behind him. When you strike a bargain with the devil, it's like playing a game of poker with a gambler who has all the cards marked and an ace up his sleeve. Danny Fowler tried his luck, and for a while he was sitting on top of the world, but when the devil pulled the hidden joker from his sleeve, the game was over. The stakes were high when Danny played with the devil's bottles. When Danny Fowler came into the manager's office, he knew his petty chiseling had been discovered. He felt no remorse, only a bitter hatred at having been discovered. No use trying to explain, Fowler. The records show you've been systematically stealing sums of cash for months. Get your things and get out. I hate them all. They think they're better than I am. Which one of them reported me? If I knew I'd kill her, kill them all. Now Danny's thinking that to himself as he heads out of the office. Mr. Fowler, you're 2 weeks behind in your rent. Either you pay it tomorrow or get out. Now again he's thinking, she's against me too. Danny Fowler knew he was a failure. But he didn't blame himself. No, it was the work of his enemies who conspired to destroy him. Just because I steal a few measly dollars, I get the gate. They drove me to steal. Now he's drinking. I hate 'em all. Someday I'll show 'em. I'll have my revenge. Danny Fowler. Huh? What's the matter? Leave me alone. How did you get here? Get out. I haven't done anything. You can't take me. And it's the devil who appears before him. Fool, I've come to help you. I can give you the power to destroy your enemies. I can give you the means to fulfill your dreams of wealth and power. Each of these 4 bottles contains a genie of the underworld. Each time you need help, all you do is open a bottle, and the power within will fulfill one wish. But this bottle, the 5th, must never be opened. Open it, and you will doom your soul. Do you want them, Danny? And he has 5 bottles laid out on the table. Sure! If the devil wants to help me, why should I refuse? Dawn came, and Danny dimly recalled the night before, but in his mind it was all part of a drunken nightmare. Oh, my head! No wonder I dreamt of the devil himself. Got to lay off drinking alone. What's that on the rug? The print of a cloven hoof? It was the devil. It wasn't a dream. Here are the bottles. Who's there? I've come for the rent. Either you pay or I'll have the police evict you. The landlady's threats infuriated Danny. With a reckless gesture, he snatched up one of the bottles. Now we'll see whether the devil was fooling or not. I can't see you now. Later. And don't worry, you'll get paid. As he yanked out the cork, there was a puff of smoke, and then, "What is it you wish, old master?" Out of the bottle comes a ghoulish apparition. I kill the landlady. Kill her. Boom! He disappeared, and the bottle, it's gone too. From nowhere, a mysterious stranger appears at the head of the stairs and, "Help! I'm falling!" And this mysterious stranger seems to push the landlady. "Aye! Mrs. Haley, good Lord! I was pushed. He pushed me. Ah!" "You, mister, you heard what she said." And the mysterious stranger runs off out the door. "Hey, you! Come back! Help! Police! Murder!" Ha ha! I killed her. If I can kill one person, I can kill more. Sure. Where's another of those bottles? And Danny's looking at the Daily Globe. It says, "West Side landlady dies from fall." It's the local newspaper. So he pulls the cork from another bottle. "What is your wish, O master?" "Revenge. I want revenge. Kill everyone at the McGill Company. Destroy them all." When the genie vanished, Danny felt an unreasoning sense of fear. He couldn't stand the silence of his room, so he fled to a nearby bar to wait. How will he do it, he's thinking. How long will it take? This waiting, it's getting on my nerves. Another double rye. And then on the radio in the bar, "We interrupt this program to give you a special news broadcast. A mysterious explosion has just wrecked the offices of the McGill Company on Broad Street. Of the staff of 25, there are no survivors. Police seek mysterious man described by elevator operator." Ha ha ha! "What's the joke, bud?" "Nothing. Nothing at all." And he thinks again, power. I'm the most powerful man in the world. Only I'm a fool to waste the wishes I have left on revenge. Now I'll use it for myself. Money. That's what I want. So he uncorks another bottle. "I want money. Millions. More than I can spend." "It will be as you command." Danny got his millions all in one day, and the police recorded the greatest crime wave the city had ever known. Another report just came in, a bank this time. $60,000, and the teller's description of the robber tallies with all the other ones we've received. How can one man rob 4 banks and 6 armored cars in one day? I can say goodbye forever to this dump. From now on, it's the best there is for me. And he's got a suitcase loaded with cash. Now Danny was on top of the world. Money, clothes, an imported car, a penthouse, and good-looking girls. He had them all, but not quite all. Danny certainly knows how to be a big spender. They seem to be at a party. Lucky for him. Believe me, if it weren't for his dough, I wouldn't see him for dust. What a repulsive-looking worm he is for all this money. And Danny overheard them. So that's what they think of me. The miserable, greedy, two-faced chiselers. Get out of here. Get out, all of you. I never want to see you again. And now he's looking in the mirror. Ugly. Sure, I'm ugly. Don't I know it? But I don't have to be anymore. Not when I can use the 4th bottle. And he uncorks the 4th bottle. Make me handsome, the kind of guy the girls go for. Girls that have class. So, he's looking in the mirror again. It's me. That guy in the mirror is me, Danny Fowler. Let's see what people say when they see me. And his looks have improved dramatically. Danny stepped up in society. In less than a month, he succeeded beyond his wildest dreams by becoming engaged to the foremost society girl in town. He's reading the paper again, announcing the engagement. Ha ha ha! The rise of Danny Fowler. As Alice's husband, I'll be in the top crust of society. From here on in, I won't need the devil's help. But there were others who were interested in Danny's picture. The roomer who found Mrs. Haley's body, the elevator operator who witnessed the McGill Company tragedy, and the bank tellers and the armored truck guards who had been robbed. This guy Fowler, he's the one I saw. That's the man who pushed Mrs. Haley. Ha ha! He's the guy who robbed me. I'm going to the police, Chuck. Mr. Fowler, you're wanted down at headquarters for questioning. They can't pin anything on me. I've nothing to worry about. Okay, glad to oblige you. I can't imagine why you'd want me. And again the witnesses. He's the one. He pushed Mrs. Haley downstairs. He was the man I took down in my elevator just before the McGill explosion. He's the one. I'd never forget his face. It's a lie. It's a lie. How the devil laughed when the court found Danny guilty and sentenced him to hang. He'd given Danny his every wish, but the last one was the Joker. The handsome body Danny exchanged for his own was the form the genius had used to carry out Danny's commands, and now he was to pay for the evil he'd wished others. But Danny hadn't given up yet. Driven by desperation, he was making one last try. I'll open this last bottle. What have I got to lose? Why doesn't he appear? Where are you? Change me back. You shouldn't have opened the bottle, Danny. I warned you that your soul would be doomed. That's the price you must pay for breaking our bargain. Why did you give it to me then? Why? There wasn't anything in it. No, but there will be. This bottle is for you, Danny. Now you, too, will be my servant of evil through all eternity. No! No! And that is the end of the first story. The next page shows you how to borrow money by mail on your own signature. Any amount, $50 to $600. It's quick, easy, private, and, lest you don't know, confidential. Pay doctor bills, pay insurance, pay old debts, home repairs from the State Finance Company. All right, the next story is called Robot Woman, and I believe this has interior art. Gosh, I can't recall. All right, let's get started. So we have a female's head amidst gears of all sorts and types. Though she was formed of metal and plastic, her creator claimed she was the perfect woman. But, like any other machine, she had her failings. You, Fosmo, are the most brilliant scientist and inventor of the century. The whole world has acclaimed your genius at creating amazing mechanical contrivances. The newest labor robot of Fosmo's is amazing. It can perform the work of 10 men. It's almost human. Unbelievable. They show a robot lifting a steel girder. But though the products of your mighty mind are held in universal esteem, you strive to personally keep out of the public eye because you are disgustingly ugly. Get those newsreel cameramen off my property. You know I never pose for pictures. Yes, sir. And we have a hunched over, hideous looking scientist in a lab coat. Yes, you've seen people shudder at sight of your distorted face. Look, there goes the famous Fosmo. You mean that thing is the brilliant inventor? Without a mate, your life is empty. I'd trade my ability for a woman who could look at me without disgust. Somewhere there must be one who could care for me. No, it's hopeless. I'm doomed to continue like this. Respected for my scientific accomplishment, but loathed because of my appearance. In the moment of deepest dejection, an idea is born. Why didn't I think of it before? Even if I become a pauper in the process, I'll do it. While weeks speed by, you throw yourself completely into the task, concentrating your energies, faculties, and money on one desired goal. The next few days should bring success or failure. Until then, I've done it. I've created a woman of my own. And he makes, in jubilation, a robot woman who has the appearance of a natural woman. You, my dear, are my masterpiece. You are only metal and plastic, but your synthetic flesh alone cost me a fortune, and you will be worth it. Now I shall tune your electronic brain to react only to my voice. Thus you will obey only my commands. And he lifts up her hair, the top of her scalp, to reveal her electronic brain inside. So, Fosmo, you put the final touch to your robot woman. Pride even stirs you to make a public appearance with her. And now I present my crowning achievement, my robot woman. Speak to the crowd, my sweet. I am happy to be with my creator. He is the only man I could ever love. You see, here is a woman who will never grow old, who will never fail to obey, and who will never love anyone but me. She is the perfect woman. And in the crowd, maybe she's perfect, but she gives me the creeps. Me too. I'd even prefer my first wife to her. In the days that follow, you enjoy the constant devotion of your creation. You are the only man I could ever love. Naturally, my pet, it can't be any other way. But there is such a thing as too much devotion. Eventually you become irritated by it. You are the only man I could ever love. Get away! Can't you see that I'm busy? And she's accosting him as he's trying to work on new inventions. And then, exasperated and cruel, you are the only man I could ever love. I'm sick of your monotonous repetitions. Maybe this will jar your simple brain into thinking of something else to say. Eee! Silly thing, she screams as though she's hurt, but a robot has no feelings. A little while later, you need her. Robota, come here to the lab. I have some work for you to do. Smoke? Where can it be coming from? She enters the lab and, your face! What happened to it? I put a fortune into that synthetic flesh. It's all melted and looks macabre. Look what you've done, Phosmo. You didn't even look to see that you'd... Oh, that's not her. Look what you've done, Phosmo. You didn't even look to see that you'd knocked her into a heating unit. You are the only man I could ever love. Don't come near me. You're burned. You're horrible. Why do you not put your arms around me when you call me as you used to do? Get away. I can't stand you. You stagger back and crash into some bottles. Death comes swiftly as powerful acids burn into you. Ah! Because of your desire for seclusion, days pass before anyone suspects something is wrong. Then a burglar breaks into the building. I've been watching this place lately, and I'm sure there's no one here. Yeah! Let me out of here. This is the only man I could ever love. You leave him alone or I kill. And Robota attacks the prostrate criminal. And that is the end of our second story. And then we have an ad for sensational results reported in curing pimples, blackheads, acne, and other externally caused skin blemishes. We have a text story. We will not go into that one, but we will do the third story called Turnabout. Ants are insignificant little things, aren't they? Never give them much thought, do you? Well, you shouldn't, unless they pull a switch and play Turnabout. We see ants in the top of the page, and then in the bottom we have a full panel with what appear to be some spacemen. Come on, man, it's almost time. It's almost takeoff time. What are you doing down there anyway? Watching Gus tease the ants. Yeah, stubborn little buggers. They never know when to give up. You seem to get a kick out of torturing those things, don't you? Why can't you leave them alone? Ah, I ain't hurting nobody. I get a kick out of watching them. They never give up. I keep knocking the sand down the hole and they keep taking it out. I never seen anything like it. Let's forget about the ants, Commander. Where are we headed for this time? Got an exploration mission on a new asteroid in Sector V4. They want us to see if there's any life on it. A while later, the spaceship landed at its destination, Asteroid X. Oh, sure is good to stretch our legs. But this place looks deserted. Looks like we came all the way for nothing. Can't tell yet. Better play it careful, but we won't need these masks. The aero mixture indicator says there's plenty of oxygen in the air. The rest of you men stay close to the ship. Gus and I will have a look around. Okay, Commander, if we don't hear from you in 2 hours, we'll come looking for the both of you. Hey, Commander, look at these holes. Wonder what they're for. Might be ants, Gus, but from the size of these holes, I don't think you'll be able to block them up so easily this time. What was that? That was from the ship. Come on, Gus, something's wrong back there. Look at that thing. It's got Steve and Jack. Looks like it ruined the ship, too. Let's see what happened to Tom. And it's a huge ant-like creature. Within its pincers are Steve and Jack. Yeah, I was lucky. Guess He didn't see me. Came from out of nowhere, and I just stepped on the ship and wrecked it. Steve and Jack never had a chance. Better see what we can salvage out of the ship. It'll be some time before we can get the radio working so they can send a relief ship to get us off this place. Food's no good, sir. Got mixed up with some of the medical supplies. Guess we better see what this asteroid's got to offer. Must be some kind of food around. A while later. Haven't seen a thing that looks like food, Commander. What do we do now? Keep looking. We don't have much choice. It's back again. Come on, get out of here. Make for those cliffs up there. We might hold it off up there. And obviously it's the huge ant, or a huge ant, and they're running. It's got Tom, it's got Tom. It's gaining on us. We'll never make the cliffs. Look for other shelter. It's the only way. Into the hole. Follow me. Right behind you, sir. Looks like we're safe for the time being. Unless that thing gets in his head to start getting us out of here. If it can figure a way. Hey, what's this? A landslide? No, it isn't. The monster's figured a way of driving us out into the open. And there are a bunch of rocks. Huge rocks that are going into the opening. Come on, we better get these rocks out of here before they suffocate us. Guess that thing's got more brains than we counted on. A while later, whew, I'm pooped. That was hard work. You know what this reminds me of? Think hard, Gus, think hard. What do you mean? Hey, what's that? The monster. I don't think he's finished with us. See, I told you. Come on, let's get to work. And he pushed more rocks into the hole in which they're trapped. Yeah, and I think I know what you were talking about. We're like the ants. That's what we are to the thing outside, ants. That's right, Gus. Only the shoe's on the other foot this time. More rocks fall into the hole. Yes, ants are insignificant things. All depends on how you look at it. And that is the end of the third story. And then we have an advertisement of a medical tablet discovery which stops bedwetting. So V. Jackson Roy Kirk might be interested in this. All right, our fourth story. The customer is always right. Any clerk will tell you that, but you must remember, first come, first served. Go ahead, open it. This is the place, isn't it? Sure, this is the place. See that sign? At your service, just like they told you. It's an office door, and on the glass inset it says M. Mort, at your service. Well, what are you waiting for? Go on in. Not backing out now, are you? And inside is a gentleman with potions and skulls and a black cat. And he's got a Friar Tuck haircut, where he's got hair around the edges of his head but bald on the top. Enter, monsieur. You have been looking for me, eh? True, but how did you know? Mort knows many things. Now, how can I serve you? Well, can I talk here? Certainly. Diablo will not tell you a secret. That is his cat who he's petting right now. I want you to murder my wife. Murder is such a horrible word, monsieur. Let's say do away with. Call it what you will, but it must be soon. But what is your hurry? Services like this cannot be rushed. But it has to be. She plans to run away with a younger man next Friday. Tell me about her, monsieur. There must be no mistakes as to her identity. In my business, one cannot afford to make a mistake. Well, she's tall, blonde, striking to look at, and she has a tiny scar on her left cheek. That's about all, I guess. Oh, yes, her name is... No names, monsieur. One cannot be too careful in my occupation. Any habits? Anything at all? Something that might help me perform this, service? Yes, come to think of it, she has a great fondness for licorice. As a matter of fact, we both do. But that might help you. Licorice, eh? Then it should be simple to arrange. A little prick of the needle on a few pieces, and then it's all over. Don't describe it. I don't want to know anything about it. Sorry, monsieur. I did not know you were so squeamish. But now to the business at hand. Yes, your fee. I will double it if you can do a rush job for me. I would like to help you, sir, but you know the customer is always right, and I have another service to perform before yours. What luck! But you will do it before Friday, won't you? Certainly. It seems like a fairly simple job. There shouldn't be any complications. Good. Well, then here's your money. Thank you, monsieur. Thank you. Now remember, don't ever contact me again unless, of course, you should ever find need of my services. Don't worry about that. I'm going abroad very shortly. Have a nice trip, monsieur. Don't worry about a thing. I'll take care of everything by Friday. All right, then, but I wish you could do this service first. Oh, well, I guess you know your business best. The impatience of some people, eh, Diablo? Some let us prepare for the other assignment. This will be simpler than I imagined. Elderly man, slight scar on forehead, wears spats, likes licorice, wife wants to do away with him. If you only knew, but the customer is always right. Only first come, first serve. And he's creating a poison for licorice for his first assignment, which was commissioned by the gentleman's wife. All right. Next story is Ordeal by Wax. Out of the frying pan into the fire is an old warning no one should ignore, not even a murderer. And we'll see a man jumping through a rectangular hole in the roof, and he's headed straight for a boiling cauldron. And another man on the outside of a building seems to have found a deceased individual. And in a panel below that, we have a police officer frantically blowing his whistle. Blowing his whistle. Someone's running, and we hear sirens. A shaft of light is a last desperate hope for escape. So it seems to be a criminal running from the law. Let me in! Let me in! He's pounding on a business door. It says costumes on the window. You may enter if you like. I'll do anything you want, but hide me from the cops. If you mean that, I'll help you. I think you will make good bait to finish my collection. What do you mean? That wax is only a coating for human flesh. You have only to lure my customers on to this trap door, and he holds up a door in the floor. The rest will take care of itself. Every day the murderer lures a victim for the ghastly collection. It was all so easy to begin with. Perhaps you would like to see the costume on a model, madame. I would love to. Yes, I would like to see this on. What a good idea. Do show me. So he's showing these costumes to 3 different people who, I imagine, he lures to the trap door. But bloody deeds cannot be washed away by sleep. Soon you will join us, soon, my friend. The nightmares continued, and a week later, I can't go on, they won't let me forget. You said you would do anything. Have you changed your mind already? I'm not a welcher, I'll go on. And then a new customer enters the shop. Have you any pirate costumes? Well, wait a minute, I'll go and see. He looks back over his shoulder at the man who has a cane and a bowler hat. One of them's come back. He's dripping wax all over the floor. Rubbish. Pull yourself together. If you look at the panel, there does seem to be wax underneath it. You're imagining things again. There's nothing here. So the proprietor of the business goes back to look, and the man is gone, and there is no wax on the floor. This is the last straw. Got to stop before I go crazy. I'm through. Finished. Get somebody else to do your dirty work. We made a bargain. Yes. And this is the end of it. So he pulls a gun and shoots the proprietor. "You are the last one for my collection now. I can die happy." Because with his foot, he pushes a button. And the criminal is, as he shoots this proprietor, he's over the trap door, which falls open. "Help! Save me! No! Ah!" "Welcome! We were expecting you." Yes, it's always that way when you jump out of the frying pan into the fire. And that's the end as he goes down into the kettle or cauldron that is on the boil. Now we have an ad. In 10 minutes of fun a day, I changed myself. And this is a ad to gain 35 new pounds of shapely, power-packed muscles. And we have another ad. And this is for cash and premiums. Boys, girls, ladies, men, they'll give this to you. And another ad with a kiddie playhouse. $1 or 6, only $5. And a breathtaking garden under glass. A centerpiece of lush exotic flowers preserved forever. And if you kill these germs, you will save your hair. Nothing, absolutely nothing known to science can do more to save your hair than whatever this product is that they're pitching. Enjoy these 5 benefits immediately. Kill these 4 types of germs that retard normal hair growth on contact. And that is the end of our issue. I hope you enjoyed the reading, and if you did, I would encourage you to subscribe and hit that notification bell. That way you're alerted as soon as I release new videos. Thumbs up and comments are always appreciated. Remember, we're taking over the world one comic book at a time.